If one lays aside preconceived notions of who the word spoken of in John 1:1 is, and plainly look at the verse, they would likely conclude that it is in God's nature to speak, and they'd be right. Words are one way to communicate, and God is speaking. Note the present tense. God didn't just speak, He is speaking. Don't make the mistake that the Bible is the sole and final word of God. For one, it's limited by the media it's in, whether that's paper and ink or electronic storage. Also, God's voice is much more powerful and alive. God spoke the universe into being and keeps it running by the power of His voice alone. The scriptures come alive in certain places, at certain times, and to certain peoples, because of His voice. The words I have spoken to you, they are full of the Spirit and life. God's voice is the life force behind the universe and behind the Bible. In the Genesis account of creation, every day of creation starts with, and God said. God merely has to speak it for it to happen. The same voice has spoken to men for ages. The ancient Hebrews called it wisdom. Men today might experience it as longing for immortality, or as certain strange instances of loneliness or awe, or moments of great artistic inspiration. That said, we don't need to and shouldn't fear God's voice. God didn't come to destroy, He came to save, which He has done with His blood. Thus we may safely preach a friendly voice and a friendly heaven. However, today's religion is doing anything but listen to the voice of God. Not only do we still have those hypocrites that think long prayers filled with lots of words reaches God better, we also have a plethora of activities, like church classes and Bible studies. Now these things are good in and of themselves, but they can distract from the speaking voice of God. In Psalm 46:10, God says, "Be still and know that I am God." If we get still and wait and listen for Him, God will speak to us. As an antidote, I'm deaf, so I need cochlear implants to hear. These cochlear implants have programs on them that are tweaked from time to time to provide a better and more accurate hearing experience. The way these programs are adjusted is with hearing tests on specific frequencies. For me, it's typically 4 beeps of a pure tone. As these beeps get quieter and quieter, I had to deal with my brain imitating the sounds. At my hearing threshold, I was frequently uncertain about whether or not I actually heard the beeps, but when I did hear the beeps, I knew with certainty. So it is with God. When you hear Him, you will know. The key here is to remember that God didn't speak for just the duration of the Bible and then clam up never to speak again. No, God is speaking right now, if only we would listen.